Hey, are you finding yourself struggling or maybe a little bit fearful when you have to compete against larger agencies to win accounts? There's no reason to fear. In this video, I'm going to share with you 4 different strategies you've never heard before that can help you win competition when you're competing against bigger insurance agencies. Hey, if you're new to this channel, thanks for joining us. My name is Micah Salas. I'm the host. Our goal is simple here at the Max Revenue Show. It's to help growth-minded producers sell more insurance. That's it. If you like this video, please support us, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe. If you're at a smaller agency, it can be intimidating when you go against the big boys, right? And we all know the playbook that they're going to come out with. I know it because I used to say it. I worked at the world's largest agency for 7+ years. Here was what we went to: resources, leverage, intellectual capital, right? Those are the things that we would go to. And as a smaller agency, there's not much you can say back to that, right? So I want to share with you, like I said, 4 different ideas that you've probably never heard before. And they're actually related to commission and comp structure. So you don't necessarily even have to be a smaller agency to compete on these types of with these types of strategies. As long as you know how your competition is compensated, you can use some of these. So let's start with the first one. The first one is level commissions. Now, as an agency, you make revenue on an account, right? Let's just say it's $20,000. A lot of agencies pay a premium or pay a higher percentage on new than they do on renewal because they're trying to incentivize growth, right? That's good for the agency. However, when you're talking about these points, put yourself in the client's shoes, and that's what this video is going to be about. So if I knew my competitor was on a let's say uneven commission schedule, meaning first year's 40%, second year's 25%, I'm going to use that to my advantage if, of course, I have to be on a level commission myself. So if I'm at 40-40, I can use that as an advantage against any size agent. And the talk would go something like this. Yeah, so I really like our agency. We incentivize our producers to stay involved throughout the life of the account. A lot of agencies out there will pay a premium on the first year, 40%, and then 25% the second. And it disincentivizes the agents from staying involved. Our agency pays the same new and renewal, meaning I'm more incentivized to stay involved with you throughout our whole time that we work together. Okay, that's the first point. Second point that I want to make is higher splits. Now, the larger agencies, a lot of times they will pay something like maybe 25-25, 25% new, 25% renewal. Maybe there's a growth bonus element. But if you're at a smaller agency, hopefully you're making a bigger cut. The bigger agencies will say, hey, we're paying our agents less because we have all these resources, blah, blah, blah. The smaller agencies, hopefully you're paying your people more than what the larger agencies are paying them. So let's just say you are making 40% new, 40 renewal, and the big boys are making 25-25. Well, here's how I would position this to the client as a benefit to the client. Hey, Mr. Business Owner, at the larger agencies, they're all about new business. We're all about relationships and renewals. They want our agents to be involved. In fact, so much so that we get a bigger cut of the business, right? So as an agency maybe makes $20,000 on your account. They pay me 40% at my agency. Other agencies a lot of times pay only 25%. So this means that I need less clients to make either equal or more money, right? So less clients that I have to make my money means the more time I can invest with my clients and build those relationships and keep them stronger. Just perfect example, if I had $1 million book of business in terms of revenue brought in, and my competitor did, and he's making 25%, I'm making 40%, guess what? That's $150,000 more in my pocket. Now, I know you don't care about what I make, Mr. Business Owner, but that just means, again, I don't have to keep grow, where the person at 25% maybe has to grow and to make what I'm making has to be at 1.5 million. How many more clients, again, do they have to be to get to where I'm at? So that's point number 2. Point number 3 is using minimum size revenues to your advantage, right? So the bigger shops will have maybe a minimum revenue of, maybe they'll say 10,000, but in reality, they want 20,000 or higher. I'm talking mid-market agencies. And if your shop has no floor, I'm not saying you want to be going out there chasing smaller accounts, but let's say you get to that point where it's that crossover, the 15,000 to 25,000 in revenue, where the big guys will play there, but also the small guys can play there. Well, if you're competing against a bigger guy in this situation, you can say something like this and just say, yes, XYZ Agencies is much, much bigger than us. But again, I'm paid all the higher splits, so I'm going to be more involved. But on top of that, to them, you're a smaller agency, right? And so typically at the bigger shops, you have to be a certain threshold, right? A bigger account to get access to all those resources and all the bells and whistles, but also to their A-plus service team. At our agency, you're going to get our top service team because you're kind of near the top end of who we typically work with, right? So again, just another angle you can take. And here's the last one, is outside investors, right? Hey, our agency is privately owned, family owned. We don't have private equity money backing us, and we're not publicly traded. And why does that really matter to you? Those aren't necessarily bad things, but when you have outside investors and money, they have expectations. They want to see top line growth, and they want to see bigger profit margins. To get more top line growth, these agencies are going to basically incentivize their producers to go sell, pass off to the team to not stay as involved, right? And then to get more profit margins, they're also going to try to keep their staff as low as possible or reduce any overhead costs. What does that mean for you? That means possibly worse service and a service team, Mr. Business Owner, who's more stressed out and just has less time to service you. So anyways, those are the 4 things that I wanted to share with you. All 4 you might be able to use, maybe 2 or 3 of those you might be able to use. But I think if you put yourself in the client's shoes, they can see the benefit to all these. And that's the key when you're selling against the big guys, is don't, again, try to copy what they're telling you to do. Go in with what you do well, own how you're different, right? And really they're buying brand you. So all of these 4 points I talked about can really help position that to these clients. And I should add one more thing. When I say clients, I'm talking about mid-market businesses, companies paying $75,000 to maybe $500,000 of insurance. You start to go after $2 million, $3 million premium accounts. I'm not saying you can't win those as a smaller agency, but it's going to be much more difficult. They're going to be, and maybe your agent, because they're going to have some reservations about you truly being able to handle them. Again, not saying you can't, but I'm just saying that's going to be more difficult. But I think you can win a lot of deals in this crossover space, this 20,000 in commissions to 40,000 in commissions that you might be intimidated by, but you don't have to be intimidated anymore. Hey, if you found the video helpful, again, thumbs up, subscribe, and check us out. We're doing a lot of good things on all of our social media channels, LinkedIn, Instagram, our newsletter. We're here to support you.